Hello, my name is Michael James. I'm the owner of Michael James Remodeling. I'm based out of the North Georgia mountains, and today I want to talk about the 7 different things to recognize and to look for in a residential remodeling contractor. So I want to start off by first talking about how long does a project take? How long are you going to be in the middle of having demo being done, your kitchen torn apart, your bathroom torn apart, different things that just uproot and upset your life. So normally every project is slightly different. A kitchen normally takes a lot longer than a master bathroom or other parts of the house just due to cabinets. But on average, a normal remodel job takes anywhere from 6 to 14 weeks for a master bath or kitchen remodel. But ultimately, one of the questions that our client normally asked is, do we need to move out of our home during the project? And everything is all contingent upon the size of the remodel. When we're doing multiple facets of a remodel, whether it's a kitchen, master bath, and a secondary bath, and a basement remodel, then obviously we're disrupting numerous parts of someone's home. But specifically in a master bath area, we're able to section off the home, normally put up plastic with zipper openings to try to prevent dust from getting throughout the house. We try to monitor the heating and air so that it's not being carried through the rest of the house. So ideally, a contractor should have a home or their project sectioned off where they're not disrupting the rest of the home. Like I said, in cases where there's numerous areas of the home that is being affected, then in a lot of cases we'll have clients that tend to move out or potentially move into their basement if that's available, and we take over the main house. Another thing I'd like to talk about is contractors being insured. It's very important not only for the contractor to be insured, but for the client that is hiring the contractor, for them to be insured as well. It's protecting your belongings, it's protecting the contractor as well. If something were to happen, whether it's materials disappear or somebody gets injured or something happens to your home, a picture gets broken or a piece of furniture gets broken or something like that, it's always nice to have a contractor who has all of those things in place to protect him and the client. And not having those things in place ultimately puts the client at risk for their own homeowner's insurance to cover those items. And it's just you're never in a good place to be put in that situation to have to ask that question. And so asking a contractor up front if they are insured, what their insurance covers, how much their insurance covers as well, so that you know that you're protected as a client. And if things happen, which ultimately they do, things happen, mistakes happen, things get broken, it's just inevitable. Nobody's perfect and those things will always happen. But knowing that you're protected and knowing that the contractor has those things in place help you throughout the process, and it's a comfort level for the client knowing that they've chosen the right person. And it also legitimizes that a contractor is real. When they have those extra costs, they've elevated their own company to be a professional company versus an amateur company that works out of the back of his truck. Another item I'd like to talk about is warranty and the guarantee on your work that's being done by your contractor. Every contractor, I believe, should provide on the minimum 2 forms of comebacks to guarantee his work. One normally right after the project's done. So that's just the punch out, which I don't really consider a warranty or a guarantee. But on average, a 90-day mark to come back, look through the project, make sure nail pops are taken care of, make sure there's no cracking in sheetrock. At times the interior trim, due to swelling and contraction, the caulk lines may be broken, and taking care of those little things. And most of it is just cosmetic. 99% of the time it's just cosmetic. Your house isn't falling down, or there's no issues with the structure or with the product. It's just the new area being climatized to the environment that the house is now in. So having those things walked through with your contractor, normally around a 90-day mark, will help just clean everything up, and anything that was overlooked during the walkthrough right after the remodel was done. Also, I like to do the final walkthrough at month 11. Some contractors like to do it at month 12, the 1 year mark. I prefer to see it done at month 11. That way you have some time to get it done before your 1 year mark. And also the items that have a 12-month warranty, things like appliances or light fixtures or plumbing fixtures, which normally have a 1 year manufacturer warranty. I like to hit those and see that done at 11 months, so that way you can take care of any issues that may come about through those items being broken or damaged or not working appropriately. You've got time to fix those within that last month versus having a warranty at month 12 and then you've run out of your warranty, your manufacturer warranty on those specific items. It's not so much of a big deal on the workmanship right around the 12-month mark, but specifically on the appliances, the fixtures, lighting, and plumbing that I like to take care of and see taken care of on month 11. I also believe that if a contractor is doing the right job, whether it's 12 months, 13, 16, 18 months, if it was done properly, you should not have issues. I think an integral contractor should honor a warranty at 13, 14, 16, 18 months into the project, and you just never have to worry about being taken advantage of or nothing being taken care of. But having all of that information up front prior to the contract, in the contract, to make sure that's stated, and understanding what that contractor's process is throughout the warranty stages. So a big question that is asked, how much is this going to cost? How much does it cost to remodel a kitchen? How much does it cost to remodel my master bathroom or my secondary bathroom or my kids' bedroom or my basement? Everything is variable on cost. I like to use a third-party company that talks about average cost throughout the United States. And that way it gives clients the knowledge and the understanding just what the average cost is. A lot of remodels depend on what products you put in it. No different than going and buying a Porsche Panamera versus a Honda Civic. They both get you to the same place, but they obviously have two price points. And with remodel, whether you use a high-end granite countertop or a low-end granite countertop, those dictate the cost of a remodel project. On average, a kitchen remodel can be anywhere from $25,000 on a low end all the way up to $125,000 on a high end, and depending on the size. Master baths, typically $20,000 to $30,000 all the way up to about $60,000. So there's a big range of price difference, but all of that is based on what you put into the remodel. The style of cabinets, the countertops, the fixtures, plumbing and electrical fixtures, the type of tile. You can go to an inexpensive store and buy dollar square foot tiles, or you can go to a high-end tile store and buy $150 square foot tiles. So it costs the same for the labor. It's the material that really dictates the cost of your remodel. Across the board, things labor-wise cost the same, but when you get into the material, that's really when it dictates the cost. So if you want a remodel that is very cost conscientious, the way to control that is to control the spending on the material itself. You're not going to get big swings in your cost in your labor. That is fairly consistent throughout the remodel project, but specifically the products, the countertops, the tubs, the toilets, the shower tile, the floor tile, those things are what dictate how high of a cost your remodel will be versus how low of a cost your remodel will be. Having some references is another way to check with the quality and how a project has gone through with your future contractor. Giving some phone calls to 3 or 4 of references that he provide, and also if you could find out some references that he doesn't provide. Obviously, a contractor is going to give you the best references that he has, but if you can also find out some contract or some clients that he has worked for that isn't on his reference list. Everybody has those clients that have been hard to deal with, hard to work for, haven't been able to please very well. And if they can still come out on top and do it in an integral way, you've got a good contractor. And checking and finding out to see who those people are that even were his difficult or her difficult clients throughout the process, if they stayed integral and did the right thing, they still provided a good job, that's the contractor you want to do your remodel. Ultimately, one of the biggest things that I like to see in subcontractors and in contractors is that they're always cleaning up every day. The client should expect to have a clean home when the contractors or subcontractors leave at the end of the day. They want to be able to explore and see what's been done throughout the day, and you want them to be able to do that in a clean environment. And I get that it's impossible to have 100%, but you want to do the best a contractor can to have a clean environment throughout all of the remodel project. And then especially on a Friday when you're giving the client back their home over the weekend, I'd like to see a contractor really go the extra mile to have a really clean home and make sure that it's presentable for their neighbors to come over and see, which could potentially be more work, or their family or their friends to always have a weekend that is just super clean. Last thing I'd like to talk about is safety. One of the most important things in a project, I feel, is safety and cleanup. And cleanup doesn't necessarily have to do with safety, but it has a lot to do with safety. When a client or when a contractor spends a lot of time in cleanup, he is creating a safe environment. He's creating a atmosphere where the clients don't have to worry about stepping on a nail, or their child stepping on nails, or tripping over boards, or bumping into things, or falling through a hole. So if your job site is clean, then it takes out the equation of being a safe environment. It's super important to have a safe environment, and I would encourage you to go and visit an unfinished project of the remodeling contractor that you're interviewing and see how he handles his projects on a day-to-day basis. They should be clean. If they're not clean, then it only reflects other things that he may not be clean about. He may not be clean about the costs, the finances, and other things. So I believe it's a trickle effect. When it's a clean project, then other things about that remodeling contractor are clean and upright and integral as well. So having a clean and safe environment are super important, something to take into consideration. I encourage you to go out and visit these projects and see them unfinished. All new projects that are done, obviously you don't know what's going on in the middle of, but knowing how that contractor handles the project during sheetrock and framing and all those different stages are going to be really important to know how he handles himself throughout the rest of the project.